Welcome, fans, to another episode of Stories from the Road with Mr. Technical Barry Horowitz. A little different format, so I renamed this show Stories from the Road. These are going to be very interesting, fans. I hope you appreciate them and like them. I want to touch base on one other thing, though, if you don't mind. Between all my social media, networking, and whatnot, I get a lot of fan mail to a certain address. Gotta kayfabe that address because I don't want you marks hitting me up for autographs and free shit. But that's a different story. But what I want to do, I just wanted to share this with you, and I want you to know this is a shoot. This is for real. I get them, and I answer them personally. Always. Basically, it's just asking me they liked my type of wrestling, and they love 90s God, I feel great. Big as a house, one bedroom. I know. Anyway. Okay. So anyway, I'm all full of pre-workout, I'm sorry. Had a heck of a training day today, and it's like 95 degrees here in Florida, so you know where I'm coming from. Anyway, let's get back to this fan mail. So anyway, they ask me different things, and I do that. So I'm gonna just shoot with this. They may be burying me. I don't know what these are about. I get a couple a week, and this one's from Jason from Huntsville, Alabama. Huntsville, Alabama. How about that? The last time I was at the Von Braun Civic Center in Huntsville, Alabama, wrestled Macho Man Randy Savage. And I think it was just a regular TV taping, or was it a Monday Night Raw? Had a good match, though. It was really cool. And I definitely love Alabama. Let's open this up. Like I said, this guy could be burying me. I don't know. I'm taking a chance here on my show. So I just want you to notice, I'm not going to, give the addresses and whatnot. It's personal stuff. But, yeah, he sends me a self-addressed envelope. He sends my pictures. I'm sure you've seen these, fans, these wrestling classic cards. And what I do is normally sign them. So let's see what he says. Dear Barry Horowitz, I'm Jason Lee, a wrestling fan since birth. LOL. I'm trying to get this all signed. Thank you. You're a riot. Okay, good word. Anyway, that's a short one. Okay, so that was pretty cool. I mean, that's the shortest I ever get. How about this one right here? This is my second one. This is from Park Rapids, Minnesota. Got a lot of friends from Minnesota. So, by the way, that's the only place the real warriors come from, if you know what I mean. I don't mean face paint, clothesline, shake the top rope. I mean Road Warrior Animal, Hawk, and of course the other good warrior is Sting. That's the only guys I know with face paint. Oh, excuse me, Demolition, sorry. By the way, half of them are from Minnesota. Love Minnesota. So let's open this one up. Okay. Self-addressed envelope. Okay, and he writes another short one, because some of them are like 2 or 3 pages. Thank you so much for taking the time to sign these. If you could sign these in a black Sharpie, that would be great. Again, thank you so much, Steve. Okay, let's see what he's got. All right, now see, he did it too. He's got the classic pictures from 90s, and he put them in a plastic case, and then I sign them. So I don't want to get these confused. These are good guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Steve. And thank you, Jason. And I will get these out tomorrow. Now, let's get to the meat and potatoes of this show. What I specified. By the way, this show is brought to you by ProWrestlingTees.com. If you go there, you'll see my 4 shirts there. Also, Cameo.com is doing well for us. And Facebook. Plethora of things there. Also, WWE.com. So let's go with the wrestling stories. Let's go with the first one. Barry Horowitz, were you the Red Knight? Well, all the smart marks know that I was. But what is the real snuff? What is the real sniffy, or whatever you want to call it, on the Red Knight? The scoopage, if you will. Well, the scoopage is, it was in Boston Gardens. It was the main event. Jerry King the Lawler, whatever, against the Hart Foundation, the Hart family, and his Knights. Jerry King Lawler and his Knights. Okay, something happened with Lawler, something illegal. I don't know what happened to him. Anyway, and I don't care. But anyway, so his replacement was Shawn Michaels. Okay? So it was Shawn Michaels and his Knights against the whole friggin' Hart family, which there's like 30 of them. But anyway, in that match, there was only, I think it was like 6 of them. Owen was involved, Bret was involved, Stu Hart Jr. Those guys are all great guys, by the way, and fantastic athletes. We were the main event at SummerSlam at Boston Gardens. This is big. The ring announcers, the famous guy, remember Ray Combs from the Family Feud? He passed away. It was a shame, too. But anyway, how did I get that? Well, when you're under contract, you have to be at all pay-per-views. You show up no matter what. You're getting paid. They may need you. They may need this, but most of the time they don't. They may need a dark match. Well, this was awesome. I get pulled to the side and say, hey, we need to shave your beard off. We're making a red knight costume. You're taking Terry Funk's place. Now, right there is an honor. Terry Funk is a god in pro wrestling. He's a personifies pro wrestling heel. I used to watch him when I was a kid, which doesn't mean he's old, but I'm just saying I watched him. He was the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Between him, Ric Flair, Jack Briscoe, Harley Race, phenomenal, nonstop. These matches were unbelievable. Anyway, I'm taking Terry Funk's place, and this was incredible. So they make my costume up in about, an hour. And we went over the match and whatnot. And it was an honor. By the way, Terry Funk, now don't quote me on this, fans. The reason he cannot make it from Amarillo to Boston, Logan Airport, if you will, he calls up Vince and says, can't make that show, my horse is sick. I heard that was a shoot, too. Now, I guess, Amarillo he lives in, and horses are expensive, and he's got money, and he don't care about the main event, and maybe he didn't want to be under the hood. I don't know, but I was happy to have that because that went on for another 6 more months at house shows, at Raws. It was really good. Superstars, everything. So that Red Knight gimmick went, 6, 7 months, besides being the main event there. I'll never forget when I walked in the ring, I walked by Ray Combs. He's like about 5'5". I said, get out of the way, Shorty. He was scared stiff because he don't know me. We didn't see him in the back locker room or whatnot. And that was really it was really a cool match. I had a great time, especially, wrestling Bret and Owen. And I had to change my style a little bit. I'm not going to pat myself on the back and give it all away. But it was really, really cool doing that. And it was an honor to take I've only seen Terry Funk maybe once since that happened. That was over 20 years ago. And I think I seen him at a spot show, which is a small, in pro wrestling lingo, it's just a small show that they don't run a lot in South Florida. They flew him in. And I told him the story, and he just cracked up and stuff. And then I think the other time was I wrestled him at the Savannah Civic Center in Savannah, Georgia. How about this for a story? I'm riding with Ric Flair and Bob Orton Jr. from Charlotte, North Carolina to there. These guys are on last. Of course, I'm on first. I'm a nervous wreck. They're driving crazy. They're doing stuff that Barry Horowitz doesn't do. I'm just a nervous wreck. I'm a rookie. I'm like, who knows? I'm maybe 22 years old or something. Get there. Hurry up. Put your boots on. You're on first with Funk. I said, oh my God. And he's pissed. It was a rib. I get in the ring, I lock up with him, and he says, hang on. And I hung on for dear life. It was like boom, 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 boom. Hell of a match, spinning hold, and, finish. But it was pretty cool. But he was acting like, he was mad, but he wasn't. But they did get me there late. So that wasn't too cool. But I learned to drive by myself or with people like, I started traveling with Vinnie Valentino or Keith Larson, or it was, who else? Sonny Fargo, Boogie Woogie Man, Jimmy Valiant, Rufus R. Jones. These guys all like to be early, so I jumped on their train. So anyway, so that was like a plethora of little stories all put together. And then my fan mail. And then also, this is pretty cool. They don't do it no more, And if I'm not mistaken, they don't do it anymore. What I'm mistaken is, I think it was definitely a TV taping for Vince Sr. If I'm not mistaken, it was either Allentown or the Hamburg, Pennsylvania field house. I think it was that. And I had a match with Don Morocco, put him over, and put him over strong. And then, excuse me, fans, the referee comes back. I forgot who the referee was. It could have been Gilberto Roman. That's how he says his name, by the way. And he says, this is from Morocco, a $20 bill. Now, back then, this is 1981. This is a guy I'm a rookie. I'm making pretty decent money per match. Nothing like you do now. But $20 when you're 21 years old as an extra, that's food for me for a day or two, or most of my motel bill. And it was just to get him over. It was like a tip. It was a thank you. That's what they did back in the day. I don't know who. I'm sure other guys have gone through it. But when you get something like that, it's been done either 2 or 3 times. I think Morocco did it. Roddy Piper did it. And I forgot who else did it. But I wasn't gunning for that. I was just doing my job. And, and doing my profession that I loved. So that was kind of cool. Like from Don Morocco. And let me tell you something. I was in that match with him. And, he's a big dude. And he put me like in a guillotine, a lying guillotine. So I'm going to get out of it. But he didn't want me to. It was like pulling down the Empire State Building. I couldn't budge him. I mean it. I couldn't move it. Not even a centimeter. That's how big and strong he is. And plus, if he don't want you going nowhere, you ain't going nowhere. Plus, you want to follow the leader. He's the veteran. He's the heel. And that's what I did. And that's how you do it in this business. You don't cause issues. There's no reason to. Okay? It's part of your job. It's part of your dream. So, anyway, that was that. What else? There was something, I had a Bret Hart story. And I'm trying to think. There was a couple of these stories kind of jammed together. My most recent is I seen Bret at a meet and greet in New York at this really, really fancy highfalutin mall. I mean, a lot of people there, a lot of wrestlers were there, and the Texas Hall of Fame, which now has moved back to New York, was there, and we were on a 3-day tour, but I never saw Bret, and he had an assistant, and he had the actual assistant come to me and say, Bret wanted to talk to you, and it was towards the end of the show, and he had his own little booth and whatnot, and I was there with Paul Diamond, and we were sitting together and signing autographs, so I went over to Bret, hey, how you doing? And remember now, I haven't seen him or talked to him in 20 years. In fact, the last time think I've seen him was at the Miami Beach Convention Center for WCW Monday Night Nitro. So, and I gave my condolences for Owen. Rest in peace. And, he basically said, he was just saying, hey, I hope you didn't take the ribs too hard from Owen. And I go, no, it was okay. Rowan's harmless compared to some of those jamokes in the locker room destroying stuff. I mean, they didn't do me. They did crazy people with the red hair walking around like a chicken, stuff like that, gluing his suitcase to the ceiling or whatever, or putting padlocks on your trunks or boots, which is infantile, but anyway. So anyway, Bret goes, I can't believe, he says, that friggin' Goldberg's in the Hall of Fame and you're not. It's a shoot, fans. So you can ask Bret, you can contact him, whatever. I was way overwhelmed. I go, well, he doesn't like Goldberg, and he did say, if the Hall of Fame, this coronavirus didn't happen, I'm sure he would have be able to go up there, and Bret's he's a loose cannon when it comes, he'll say what he wants on live TV, and basically he was saying, Goldberg's in here, but Horowitz isn't. That would have been really cool. It would have helped my independent career, would have helped everything, and it's a hell of a compliment. Forget the accolades, but it's a hell of a compliment coming from Bret, and that was really cool. So we shook hands, and then somebody taps me on the shoulder, same story, and hi, my name is Diane, I think, and I'm Davey Boy's daughter. I said, oh, crap, she was so professional and mature, because most people in that position, they're prima donnas, they're better than you, my dad's better than you, he's bigger than you, they used him better than you. It was nothing like that. She put me over strong. I thought I saw you in the Clearwater Mall, me and Jay Lethal. And I guess she's friends with him or whatever, I don't know, but I got to give props, and I'll do it right now too. I told him, Jay doesn't know me, I don't know him, but he's a hell of a worker. And let me tell you something. You go to YouTube, you want to see a guy impersonate Ric Flair or Black Machismo? I mean, this is award-winning. He needs to go on the road with this. This guy is primo in this. It's hilarious. And it's spot on. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's an 11. Check it out, fans. It's really cool. So anyway, I think that's about it as far as I'm going to just segue to, we're talking about Bret Hart, but I'm going to segue to my last story. It involves Owen. This is really cool. It happened in Seattle. And we're staying at the same hotel, I think. I can't remember exactly. And, God, I'm looking good. Anyway, I can't remember exactly, but I had to get a hold of Owen because I think I was looking for Rad Radford, a.k.a. Louis Spicoli. Rest in peace, both of you. And I don't know if he was looking for me or I was looking for him, or he owed me money or I owed him money. It wasn't nothing, we're friends. It wasn't nothing of ill matter. And I'm knocking on Owen's door. Now, I don't know if it was late at night or early in the morning, because I had to get to the airport and meet him. So I'm knocking, and I know he's in there, and here comes Owen to the door. Now check this out. He's in a t-shirt, gym shorts, and he's got those things you put on when you go to sleep. They're like blinders, blindfold, like sometimes you see it on that show, What's My Line, and they put it on there, and it's black, and he picks it up, and he goes, yeah? I go, Owen, it's me, Barry. And he's holding a phone in his hand. Now, remember now, the phone is on the nightstand. It's the push button kind. That's how far we're going back. Plugs in the wall, and it's by his bed. He's like 20 feet from the bed to the front door. There's no way he could be on that phone and talking. It's impossible. The extension cord doesn't last that long. I look down. I don't know if it was a joke. Knowing Owen it was, he pulled the plug out of the phone, the base. And he's acting like, I go, Owen, I know you're not talking to nobody. Yes I am. No you're not. And it was hilarious. And that went back. I don't know where Spicoli is, but the phone thing was hilarious. I don't know if that was a rib, a joke, a shoot. I don't know, but it was hilarious. That's just numerous Owen Hart stories. In fact, I'm going to give you another one for a bonus. I'm on a roll here. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm wrestling the Blue Blazer. I forgot where this was. Possibly California. I knew there was a rib coming up because him and Davey Boy were talking in the locker room. I go, okay, I got to keep an eye on these two, but I don't want to put it over. So anyway, I get to the ring first. Here comes the Blue Blazer, the way he should have came to the ring. Running, flapping, look great. People are going nuts. I'm going nuts. Everybody likes it. It's sold out. It's going to be a hell of a match, and it was. Numerous hundreds. Okay? Anyway, he gets in the ring, and I'm looking for the rib. And as I look back, I see Davey Boy peeking through the curtain. I go, okay, something's conspired with the three of us. Either those two are going to rib me, something. And I'm looking for something. And here's the rib. It's minute, and I had to walk away because, I'm a straight shooter, and back then you don't want to smarten up the crowd, and you're, kayfabe strong, okay? So anyway, Owen gets in the ring. They announce, blah, 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 I think parts unknown, the Blue Blazer. And he gets to the middle of the ring, and he coughs. Now, I'm sure you've seen this like in a cartoon. And when he coughs, a feather comes out of his mouth. I'm sure you've seen that in the Roadrunner when he eats the chicken or something, or one of those Scooby-Doo cartoons, something of that nature. And he's waiting for me to laugh. Now, he can laugh all he wants. He's under that mask. I just walked away. I had to. And he's looking back at Davey Boy to see if I'll crack up. Stone-faced it. No sold. No sell. Oh, no. But that was hilarious. I couldn't figure out what was going on until that cough. And I mean, when the feather came out, it was a big white feather and flew out up, and it's under the lights of the ring, and it stood out like a sore thumb. That was hilarious. It was hilarious. Well, fans, that's another episode with Barry Horowitz, Mr. Technical, of course. And next week, we're going to have something different. And I hope you enjoyed this one. We could have more stories. Maybe next week I bury somebody. Maybe next week I have another story. I want to clarify something on our last episode about my producer brought it up to me. And I just wanted to let the fans, because I don't want my fans to think I'm bullshitting them or straying them the wrong way. That little story I told you about Madison Square Garden, remember about the so-called He-Azil walking around, oh, I'm getting punished by Vince and I got to do this and make sure you kick out quick and all that stuff. Yes, he's saying this because he thinks he's being punished because he's got to do the job. Would you believe that? It's ridiculous. So that's it. So anyway, okay, what? Now hold it, Josh. So the reason he's pissed off, the main reason, the gist of this story is he's got to do the job, and he's got to do it for moi, Barry Horowitz. That's what he's pissed about. Although his 4 gimmicks didn't get over, and I put it over with red, white, and blue flying colors. Because that's me, that's what you're supposed to do. That's a true trooper, that's a carpenter, that's a ring veteran. I don't care if it's a rib or not, it's a stupid rib. You don't joke about that. It's wrong, and it's disrespectful, by the way. That's the main reason, disrespectful. So, 1, you gotta do the job, and you did do it, by the way, and you did it for me. Oh, and you kicked out quick because you're so strong. It's ridiculous. What if I pile drived you? Would you do the same thing? Jump up smoking a cigar or something? Anyway, that's the reason for that. So that's just a piece on last week's episode in case sometimes I get going on my stories and I go from A to D instead of I got to get B and C in. Maybe it's too many bumps or too many chair shots. I don't know. So anyway, thanks again. I hope you enjoyed this. I'd like to hear from you guys on Facebook. If you want to rate the show, and again, don't forget about Cameo and Pro Wrestling Tees and the Facebook. And till next week, it's Barry Horowitz, Mr. Technical, saying so long from the Sunshine State.